Today we're 6 weeks out from the Arnold Classic Australia, which means we're 3 weeks out from Melbourne Championships. I did the math, that means we've got 40 days worth of training with the breaks in between the pre-Melbourne Championships and the pre-Melbourne Championships and the pre-Arnold Classic. Today we're going to go and hit some chest. I've always had a bit of a shoulder problem, my rotator cuff on my right, rotator cuff on my left front delt. So I've always had to kind of change and alternate my training with my chest so I can still get a really good chest development without having to lift those big massive heavy weights. So when I go through a chest workout today, I'm going to show you guys how to develop a nice dense thick chest and not have to worry about smashing out those big ass heavy weights. Got my pre-workout. If you guys want to know what I take and why I take, hit me up on Facebook and I'll explain to you what the ingredients are and what I use. Here we are, let's go smash some chest. Today we smashed some chest. What we did four main exercises and a warm-up. The warm-up consisted of just some machines and some light movements. My whole idea behind the warm-up was to secrete as much blood as I can into my chest so that my front delts, my rear delts don't take over as I'm going and doing those slightly heavier movements. Basically with the first exercise, I did incline bench press. And what I did with that was I tapered the weight up nice and slowly and I made sure that the weight was in my chest the entire time. So I use my chest, it's really important to use your chest to contract the weight up, squeeze your chest at the top, and then use your chest from the top to lever the weight down. So they're kind of like you're stretching a lacquer band. I think it's really important to make sure, you see a lot of people chucking around heavy weights and there are plenty of ways to do things, but if you've got a shoulder problem or a rear delt problem and you can't do those heavy weights, this is a really good way to hit that chest. Second exercise, we did a bit of a superset with 3 different exercises. I just did a front incline chest press, two chest presses and a cable fly or a pec deck fly. Same thing again, I'm just making sure that throughout the entire movement I'm mentally thinking about what my chest is doing. My chest is contracting the weight, I'm holding a nice hard squeeze at the top, screening as much blood as I possibly can into my chest, and then using my chest to lever the weight and the way down. Constantly throughout the entire movement, I'm making sure that the blood is secreting in my chest and the chest doesn't let go of the exercise. I'm hitting my chest with 3 different exercises so that I'm slightly hitting different muscle fibers from different angles in one movement. The third exercise was probably one of my most favorite exercises, which I believe has built my chest the most, was the cables. Now with the cables, I slightly put them on a slightly lower angle, just below my chest height. And with the cables, what I'm doing is I'm mentally in my mind again, I'm making sure that I'm starting from, the starting position is a bit lower than my chest height and my hands, and I'm squeezing up on a diagonal line, squeezing the top part of my chest. Holding that squeeze at the top, and at the same time, I'm using the contraction of my chest to lever the weight of those cables down. Now with this particular exercise, you don't need to go really heavy, because all you're doing is you're just using just your chest, not trying to use any shoulders or rear delts or anything like that. Go as heavy as you can with progressive overload. I mean, you don't want to be putting on 1 or 2 kilos. You want to make sure you're doing, a little bit strenuous, but you don't want to go too crazy to the point where you're swinging and levering your body. Last exercise, I just did a basic chest press movement. Any chest press movement will do, it can be a flat bench press or whatever. I decided to use a machine because then I got more control over my chest, don't have to worry about stabilizing the weight. First exercise, the first set in that exercise, I used a close grip and I squeezed my chest, did 10 to 15 reps. And the second exercise, which was also a superset, I just did a wider grip. The difference is not massive, but I'm still hitting my chest from a slightly different angle from that close grip to that wider grip. I mean, mentally in my mind, I can feel the squeeze in different parts of my chest by using a different grip. And I feel that gives you a nice overall chest, better overall chest development than just jumping on some heavy weight and throwing it around. Like I said, there's a million ways of doing things, but if you got any shoulder problems or rear delt problems or anything like that, or bicep tendon problems, this is a really good workout, so give it a try. If you guys want to know anything more, hit me up, and I'm sure I'll give you guys a hand and teach you guys more about it. Man, what a workout. We're 6 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, 3 weeks out from the Melbourne Championships. I'm going to explain to you guys what I'm to do about the nutrition side of things and when it comes to those last 2 weeks of comp prep. Basically, when it gets to about, for me, 6 weeks out now, there is no real structure with the nutrition. I kind of just change things up as my body changes. I kind of have an idea in my mind of what I want to be eating and how I want to be eating and how many calories I want to be consuming a day. But some days I'll look at my body in the mornings, or I'll listen to how I feel, and I might just do a whole day no carbohydrates. And the next day I might do another whole day no carbohydrates. Day 3 I might wake up and go, okay, I'm feeling really flat and depleted and lethargic, and don't have any energy. Let's go smash some legs today, and I might go and do a whole day of carbohydrates every single meal. There is a strategy behind what I do. It's just the strategy changes as per your body looks coming into the show. At the moment, last week I did a successful whole entire week of carb cycling. I did 2 days 0 carbs and 1 day high carbs. I feel like that worked really good for last week. I dropped quite a lot of weight in the scales. My body stayed nice and full, and believe it or not, my strength actually stayed quite good as well, which I was quite surprised about. This week I'm going to go into this week as the same approach, with the carb cycling. This will be my 2nd day no carbohydrates again. I'm just going to judge it how I go. Today I felt quite flat and lethargic. I went and had an energy drink. I don't usually have energy drinks in my prep. I try and stay away from artificial sweeteners 110%. I feel like, and especially in those last weeks of prep, getting those artificial sweeteners and sticking to that, plain good wholesome food is really important. But when it comes to it and you need it, you got to do what you got to do. So I had to go and do that today. So that kind of tells me that my energy levels are quite low, and it's really important for me to go and have some carbs tomorrow. So I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to do a whole day of carbs. I'm going to smash some legs. And then here on in from now and the rest of the prep, I'm just going to judge it day by day and work that out the best I can. You guys want to know more about why I do what I do, hit me up on Facebook. I can explain to you guys what supplements I'm using and why I'm using it. Supplements which help me sleep, supplements that help me burn fatty acids as energy, supplements with help me maintain muscle tissue, a lot of things like that, as well as why I eat certain foods at certain times of the day. Otherwise, here we are with 6 weeks out from Arnold Classic, 40 days of training left into the Arnold Classic, and 3 weeks out from Melbourne Championships. Let's get it. Continue to follow my journey into the Arnold Classic 2016. Hit subscribe and like on the Facebook page of Bulk Powders Australia. For all your supplement needs, hit up bulkpowders.com.au for all your quality pharmaceutical grade supplements and free shipping.